we are going to start with customer ID, company, card registration date, card registration year is given, card registration month is given, card registration year month is given, card registration quarter is given, the first use date is given, gender is given, date of birth is given, from where we got the age of the customer, age bucket is given, state code is given, and number of trips is given, spend amount is given. Now, first of all, we have defined our KPIs. We understood how KPI is going to look like. The major are going to understand by how many customer base, what is the average age, and what is this total visits and total spend, and how to go for creating this as a spend per customer and spend per visit, how much it is happening. What we will do here, selecting this data, I go for creating insert a pivot table. I would be creating a pivot table in the same location here. In the same location, when I get this pivot table, what will I do with this pivot table? I'll be starting with understanding customer ID, and I want to make this summarized value as what? As a count of customer. I want to take it here. The age of this customer, where I want to show what is the average age of this customer. At the same time, I want to go with what? Understanding the number of trips as a total sum of trips. I want to take the spend amount, which is going to total sum of spent. Now, I want to call this name as subscriber. I want to call this name as average age. I want to call this name as my widgets. I want to call this name as spent. Right, guys? So when I created this, these are the pivot output. Now, this pivot output, how do I want to present that? I want to present this output over here. Now, by what you want to present? I want to see the result by company wise. Company wise, what is the total customer base and how much spent is happening by the customer? I want to show that. I don't want to show this averages. I don't want to show this as a widgets. Remove this. You want to have this two output of this. Secondly, you also want to present here what? By state code wise. So you simply go for presenting this by state code wise. Where is the state code, guys? It is the state code which is given to you. Now you got the value for state code. Then you also want to present it here. Another one which is all about like your gender wise and age bucket wise at the top. You can show what is the subscriber base. This is what you want to show it. So this is something I want to create. I want to present to my business into a dashboard. Also, I want to present here by registration month, how the trend is coming for revenue and subscriber base. Now let me go for here. Oh, it is all coming from a February to November. Not consistent. Okay. What I can do here, no issues. Let it be happen. These are the information which we have it now. Now, what you'll do first, you will say equal sign after getting the subscriber, na, get the value from the pivot table. When you give a equal sign, get the pivot reference. It's saying get pivot data. You are getting the value of S row number what? It is saying row number 6, which you have pulled the data over here. That is what is saying about your value. Equal sign, get the value from here, which is giving the get pivot reference. You can say equal sign, get the value from here as well. Then you can say equal sign, get the value from here. Now, how do you want to present this? You want to present this into number format with number as 1000 comma separator. How do you want to present the spend amount? You want to say number format, make it as currency with United States, USA dollar. That is how you can present this. Now, selecting this all, can go to the format paint and apply this here. Now, what you'll do here, given this company name, I want to take this outside over here. I call this is called my company. With the company, I want to go for the subscribers. I also want to go for the spent. Now, how to go for this? I can say equal sign, get the value from here, where from company as this. I want to make my column is fixed, right? So if I drag this down, I can get those output is coming, which is taking from this pivot tool. So where is the equal sign, get the spend amount here, in this spend amount, when I drag it, it is not going to give the result properly. Why it is not giving the result? It is making your Apollo as fixed. But however, in this place of Apollo, I have to take the value from here, which is the cell reference W14. You can make column W as fixed here. Now you got this output which is coming. Select this format painter, apply it here. These all are into your dollar currency format. Select this as a number format which you have it. Format number, format cell, make it to number with 1000 comma separator. Done. You select this format painter and apply this here as well. What you have done, you got it for company wise, subscriber and this. Then you can select this state code, paste it over here, call this as state, get the subscriber and get the spent here. So how to get this value? You say equal sign, get the value from here, where for ACT, right? I got this value. Same way, equal sign, get the value from here. Instead of ACT, we'll get the value from this. You'll get the value from here, right? So you can see the output is coming. Now both this output, you take this format painter and apply it here. Next, I want to get this output to be presented separately. So what I'll do here, I copy this and I paste it here. However, for these values, I will say take equal sign, get the value from here, where instead of getting this, get the value from here, where you make row 40 is fixed. Instead of gender as female, you take the value from here, where you make column G is fixed. Now, if you drag this, it's taking the value from the pivot table across all. I'll tell you why I'm doing this. For this month also, what I can do, guys, here, I call these are my month. I'll be calling this as my subscriber. I'll be calling this as my spent. How would I get my subscriber? Equal sign, get the value from here. How to get the spend amount? You'll say equal sign, get the value from here. Since it's a pivot data reference, if you drag it, the same value will reflect. What you'll do here first to get the value as per February month, here at the top you can see it's saying Feb. Instead of Feb, we'll take this value. Make column W is fixed. You drag them down, you can get this value for Feb. All is coming. Same thing over here. Instead of manually Feb, you write this here equal sign, get the cell reference of this, where make column W as fixed here. So this is how you got the spent as well. Now, this is where you get the data. Understood? Once you have the data, what we'll do here first? I want to go for creating a solid dashboard. I create my title here. I call this as sales performance dashboard. When I created sales performance dashboard, I want to give this as a title, middle align, make the background color maroon color, make it to white, increase the font to this. Sales performance dashboard. Now, there I want to keep some of these KPIs. First of all, I'll keep all my filters over here. So this is the place for filters. What do you call these guys here? Filters. So what are the filters I want to make it? Now let me tell you. From this pivot table, go to the first pivot, insert slicer. Slicer is going to be at company level. Slicer is going to be at gender level. Slicer is going to be at year level. Slicer is going to be at state code level. Slicer is going to be at the age bucket level. Now these are something as my slicer. I say okay. The moment I say okay it here, all the slicers are coming below. Now selecting these slicers, what I'll do here, these are the slicers which I have to use now for my reporting. So once I get the slicer now, I want to make a slicer design. I go to slicer at the top. I can see these are something is coming here as your, you can choose any one of these that you want to present here. Let's say I want to go for this presentation. Now, instead of going for making this company name this way, I want to make it to column. Column of what? All these are going to fall within the column itself. So you drag them right, correct? So you can just simply and keep it over here. This is an indication of what? Indication of your state codes. Does it make sense to all, everyone? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then, based on the state code, based on this company, I want to add my state code. So what I'll do now first, so let me make it little merge bigger. This time I will take my state code to the slicer, get the slicer style to the same. I want to make it slicer buttons as into what? Go for the columns are 7. Now I can just select this here and keep it here. When I keep this here, I got my state code, which is going to be published here. I can see my state code even if this small layout also I can present. That is perfect. Now after this, I want to go for the year. So I can say that this is going to be this, make it to 3. Now my year, I want to fit somewhere at the top here, like this. So I got my year to be fixed here. That's it. Done. Now after this year, I want to go for my gender. I want to fix my gender to what? 3 columns, and the style is going to be darker. So just make this over here, go to this and try to expand it and present it here. Done. Same way, what I'll do guys here, right? I will be presenting this as same format, make it to 4. I can put it over here. So I created, these all are my slides, right? So making this edge bucket visible more, I have to reduce this so that I can see properly, right? Go for this, right? Adjust this, perfect. So this is how we created our slicer, and why I created a slicer, I'll tell you now. Now, let's say I want to see that what is the total subscriber base. I selected this, merge, I call this as customers. So this is what I created as my header, right? I copy this and I paste it here. This is called average age. That is also fine. Then, and I copy this, paste it here. This is called total widgets. Then I copy this and I paste it here, called total spent. Then after this, I created this as spent per visit. Or maybe you can unmerge this to present. Right? This is called spent per customer, and this is called spent per visit. So I can simply go here and make it bold, this background. Now what is happening guys here? I created my dashboard layout. I copy this, merge, copy, copy, copy. Then again you merge them. and you go here merge. In this merge, what you will do, you will say equal sign, get the value from here. Done. You will say equal sign, get the value from which is outside the pivot table. Done. You will say equal sign, get the value which is outside the pivot table. Done. You can say equal sign, get the value which is outside the pivot table. Done. So this is how we added those values. We can make it middle, and we can go for choosing something like this big, bold. How to calculate spend per customer? You will say spend amount to be divided by number of customer, which is called spend per customer, which is coming here. Spend per visit, you will say total spend should be divided by total visits. You can say spend per visit, how much is coming. Now, I want to go for making this bold, middle, and little bigger to read. This is, I also want to make it this bold and little bigger. That's it. So this is how I can say spend per customer. I give a different background, and spend per visit. I can give a different background here. So all together, I selected this and make it as a black border. Now what happens, since these all informations are coming from this pivot table, and this pivot has these are the slicers. When I select Apollo, you can see every values are changing. This is for Apollo. When I say Apollo for 2008, this is the value changing for 2008. If I say Apollo for QLD, the value changing for QLD. If I say QLD for female, I can see the female here. If I say female with old age customer, I can see old age customer values are here. This is called drill down. What do you call this, guys? What do you call this, guys, here? Drill down. Are you getting it?
Till down.
So somebody says that, untick this. Somebody says that, hey, could you please tell me what is the customer base for Med Plus in the year 2008 for West Australia, only female category at young age. So Med Plus 2008 West Australia, female base for young age. So total three customers. You can come down like this. Understood now, guys, how this is working? Everyone, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now, soon after this, what you'll do here, I can go and select this data for customer subscriber. I can present the subscriber base into a donut chart. In this donut chart, I remove this title, I remove this legends, I select this, I say reduce the whole size as much as you can, add data labels, format data labels by category name, not by value in percentage. So now you created this chart. You can expand this chart a little bit. Choose the chart background color. I want to choose this background color to black color or maybe darker this red color. Then I want to make this font as white color. So this is how I presented it. Now I want to select this chart. I want to show no outlines. That is also fine. I can select this chart to say reduce this explosion little bit. This is the explosion you created now. So now you can go for positioning this chart like this way, or if it is not looking good, simply choose the background as white color. So this is how you are showing the state wise, or if you want to give this title to this, you can keep the chart here. You can keep the chart here up to this, little bigger, and you can call this here subscribers base percentage. So you can give this title to this as subscriber base percentage. Increase the font. Is this clear to all? Everyone, are you getting this?
Yes.
Next,
Yes, sir.
what you can do, you can select these two charts together, insert, create as a combo chart, go to the chart type, make it as a combo, make this as a line with marker, and this should be clustered and make it as a secondary axis. Now you created a chart to be presented here, right? What is this presenting? You will say subscriber versus spent. You can say this is going to be subscriber versus spent in dollar. Okay. Subscriber in what? It is has versus spent. So this is how you created this chart. Remove this, remove the title, not required. Only title is here. You try to hide this by giving this as a white color font. Try to hide this or right click on this format axis. Make it to lax. Make it to lax. Right. So you can also select this and make it to hide. This is also make it to hide. So this is where we are going to create a chart and reduce the gap width, right? Now, whatever the top three, just try to give them a separate color to that. Go to format, make it to this the top. Then the second top, I want to give a different color to this. And the third top, I want to give a different color to this. So this is where we created this and going to this line chart, I say format data series.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So the coloring the top three, we have to do it manually, or
No,
there is
you can
any.
no, we can do it by conditionally also, but I'm just showing you. I don't want to get you into see when you go to Power BI, you don't have to do like this. Everything Power BI will take care. But
Okay, sir.
here, since we're using Excel, I'm just trying to show you manually, but Power BI, everything is automated. Now let's add data labels to this. Now, this is where you are saying about the spent, how it is happened over time. This is one of the chart. Now what happens if you select anything here, it is reflecting here, not here. Why it is happened so? Because we have not given connection to this. So in this pivot table, you have to go to pivot tool analyze, give a filter connection, all the filter that we have taken, slicers we have taken here. Can you see this, guys? Understood? And since it is based on the company, it is based on the company when you go for the slicer connection. Make sure that when the chart is on company, you are not going to select your company here, untick this company. It is not going to affect by company. So what will happen here? If you select by company, this chart is not going to reflect. But apart from company, if you go for anything, it's going to reflect here accordingly. Can you see this? Can you see this, guys? How the charts is reflecting here, everyone? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is how we see that. For example, see why if I go for company now, it will select only one company that is not going to look good. So I have untick the filter for this chart. There is no connection to company. Rest all connection is there. For example, if I select Apollo, it is affected here, but it's not going to affect here. Let me show you what is happening. Okay. Now, if I say Apollo, the number will change here, but it will not change here itself because there is no connection to Apollo here. But if I really want to see the result like for 2008, for New South Wales, and for female customer base, old age customer, it is going to give a chart like this. Understood, guys? Understood how
Yes,
to go
sir.
for drill down? Now, same way, we'll go for the next chart. What is the next chart we want to do it here? The next chart we want to do it here as this state code wise subscriber base. I can present this chart into this format.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, when we actually you manually colored the chart
Hmm.
when changing the data or when we are adding filters, when
Hmm.
we are selecting what type of data we want, at that time the colored chart doesn't affect. Like it shows the wrong result.
What is the wrong
So
result?
as in
Acha, when you're selecting it, it is going by only those company details,
yes,
right?
not In the initial data we had colored in one way, but now when the data changes, the result is actually different.
Yes, it has to be presented conditionally. I just gave you if I really want to present something like this, but anyways, it's fine, no issues. The numbers will keep on changing, and the color should be, let's say you want to go for the same color to be applied to all, we can go for doing that as well. Or if you can say that selecting this chart, if you select this bar, format data series, go to field, and if you want to make everything as solid color to this, let it be happen, no problem. So I can go for giving this color to all. So wherever I'll go for whatever chart I've selected, I can go and give the same color. That is also fine. But
So the
making conditional, we have to do this conditional, writing the program for this. But I don't want to take you to that programming part now. The reason why it will be creating a confusion to you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So now you understand how to go for creating a chart. Now let's look at this chart, particularly when we go for preparing it. Guys, there is a dashboard class will happen to you. I'll also give you some reference for doing it. The dashboard is something when I'm doing, just try to understand what is happening and try to replicate the same thing after the class. This is where I want to show state code wise what is the customer base. Selecting this customer base format data series, I go here, I choose in this, I choose no line, only the markers. I change the marker to this and make the marker to 12. And for those markers, what I'll do here, I will say add data labels. When I add these data labels, I must go and format axis, display units in thousands. So now I got this as a thousands way to present. Select this here, make the font to white to hide, make this font to white to hide. These are the state code. You can say format data series, reduce the gap width as much as you can. You also give this, and for those, you can say R data labels. So this is how we can show a comparison of what? The comparison of what? It is going to say subscriber versus spent at state code label. You can select these data labels, format data labels inside end, make the font to white color and bold so that you can see what is the customer base. And same way you can select this, you can wherever you feel like it is going outside, just put it at the top so that you can present this way. That shows what is your spent by the customer if you bring it at the top. You have to do it initially. Okay, so this is how we present it. Now next I want to show the chart which is based on my this information. So let me see whether it is taken the rightly or not. This is hidden. I'll just create a chart like this. Select data, reverse this order. Why it is happening so this way? Let me present it. See guys, what is happening? It shows, this is also fine, no wrong. Keep it here. Copy this, paste it here. Now what you're trying to do here, you're trying to showcase your customer base. Copy this and paste it here. Called gender and age bucket. Go for gender and the age bucket. So this is where you are showing what the customer base, what the customer base, and the top, if you can select unisex anyways, the number is very less difficult to capture. So just select this number, make it to white color font and bigger and bigger. So this is how you can go and present this. Now what you'll do when you go for creating this state code label in this pivot table, go to analyze, give a filter connection to everything apart from state code, because I don't want this should be affected by selecting state code. For this also, I'll go for selecting, giving a connection to card registration year, giving a connection to company, not to gender, not to age bucket. I should not give any connection because this pivot is created based on gender and age bucket. Now, since I have given this connection, my dashboard is ready. For this dashboard, what you see here, guys, if I select anything at the top, the charts are getting reflected. Can you see this, guys? The charts are more interactive now. Everyone, are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
When I select this, it is changing now. This is called interactive charts, which we prepared for our business to educate them what is going on. Are you getting it?